pick these cards here, and I'm gonna pick these cards. So I'm currently using for the oracle cards. I'm using the um open heart oracle cards. I've got the moon witch and I've got the tea leaf. All right. Use these ones. Let's get into. Ooh. Shout out to everyone. I'm not using any music at the moment because TikTok's gonna be playing about with the music recently as well. They've gone really strict. They've gone really strict. All right. Ooh, I'll pick this one as well. All right, cool. Last one. Okay. So the energy. Are we ready? Can I get some angels in the chats? Can I get some angels in the chats, please? All right, 111. All right. What is the current energy? What is going to happen? What's the full moon? What's the current energy from the collective? I will let you guys know. Thank you for the confirmation. And yes, Christine is here. Appreciate you. All right. Shout out to everyone. Now I'm going to talk about it. So let's talk about the 10th, because the activation is happening now, 9th / the 10th. So if we're talking about the full moon, which is technically around 1 o'clock a.m., 1 a.m. This morning, but the moon is going to be coming out soon because it's technically 9/10. It is the endings bringing to new beginnings. It's also about taking initiative, being a leader, taking some bold, high risks steps in order for you to achieve things. What's happening as we speak for everyone is that you may be tested. An old version of yourself is going to reappear. That could be yourself. That could also be the energy of somebody coming back into your life, trying to remind you of who you was. Now, you're not that person anymore. You are somebody that is shedding its skin. You are having the opportunity to step into your power, be in your power. Now, this comes down to not just relationships. This comes down to family. This comes down to this comes down to not just relationships, family, friends. What I would advise you all to do is to try keep calm and be logic, because the 10th in numerology, you're more likely to have arguments around the 10th. And I'm going to explain why. Because 10 is the, and 1 is the alpha number. Most arguments happen around that time. And what happens, especially with the full moon, everything seems to amplify, right? And amplifying things, this could be emotions, this could be certain events that could happen. So right now it's actually coming down to you having to have calm heads, all right? Releasing and understanding that it's all about having the process of using logic rather than emotions. And to prosper during this time, especially in the 10th, is to basically make sure that there is no hesitation, that you are in the energy of just going and standing on business with certain decisions and stick by it. All right, because as you know, you will grow no matter what happens. Okay, now energies right now is releasing, letting go, moving on, walking away. This is the energy of like the old version of yourself, guys. We are having to let go of certain things. You may have had a recent turn of events, a new job, moving into a new house, um, stepping out towards the spotlight and really taking on a leadership role, or being more responsible. All right. I want you guys to understand that this is your time to sort of release anything, any doubt. And most importantly, you're going to have to turn around and keep moving forwards. And I just feel very much so that this is sometimes, and this is most actually not sometimes, but this is most important for everyone that's here, to actually not look behind while you're walking, but to keep going forwards. I think it's imperative that you've got to leave a certain part of you there. because you're not meant to bring that forward. You're not meant to bring that forward. Um, there may be some traumatic things that are having to that you've got to be present of. You've got to be in the presence of having to deal with these traumatic energies, and this is about being present and being honest with yourself. There's an energy of you having to let that go and release that energy. um, Confirmation, you've got pain, which is apprehensive, afraid, and cautious. And this is when you truly, usually, guys, the process of manifestation is no matter what, if you have good days or bad days, if you have good days or bad days, you know what you are manifesting. All right. So understand that it doesn't change your reality as long as you know that by and large, your destination is not affected by how sad and how happy you are. As long as you know that you accept that even during this journey there are good and bad days, you will technically head toward your direction, and that you should not let your emotions be in control of you. Therefore, you're not in control of your destinations and your power. All right. So I want you to understand that it's important that even if you go through conflict that's clashing differences and feeling like you may not be getting the things that you want, understand this, guys. You may not know the destination, and I'm gonna say this in a very very simplistic way. Just because, and I'm gonna say this, if you've gone on a plane and you've flown, right, you may feel like there may be resistance and that might push you back. But the resistance itself for a plane actually makes the plane go quicker, because the plane is actually a vacuum for air. So if there's more resistance, there's more for the plane to use in order for it to ascend. So you're going to have to understand that there is reasons for that resistance in order for you to move through life quicker than what is expected. You see what I'm saying? So by and large, if we're using this as a perspective change, you have to understand that, for example, resistance is a sign that you just have to go through these things in life and understand that by the end of this resistance, you'll find your destination, your destiny. Now, understand that it's all about perspective, and one of the highest form of learning from a high vibration isn't through victimhood mentality. It's actually for your own perspective. Understand that it's about clearing your headspace, try not to overthink the situation, and realize that no matter what, rain or shine, that you may want to get a great business going forwards, that you may want to have this great relationship, or that you may want to have a reunion, or you may want to go from having one goal to another. It's all in the same sort of foundations, and as long as you know that, you're going to be fine. um this is going to be your realization. You've got epiphanies, understandings, and awakenings. People are going to have their own spiritual awakenings very soon, or people are having their awakenings. These awakenings is also realizing that of your own value, of your own power, you knowing that at the end of the day, clarity is just round the corner. Um, and for those that are of a romantic, not if people want, if for those that want romance, you technically being spied on. That could be through social network. People want information. There are ways to look at you. There are ways to think of you, pictures energetically. So I'm just letting you know, for adding romance as a spin towards this, you are being looked at. But if you're looking for a job, you are technically being headhunted. So in terms of career, there is a lot of headhunting that's being involved, and that's because people are raising their vibrations, people are raising their light, and people, as it is, are seeing those changes. These changes for yourself is a mixture of the work that you've done and how much you've trusted in yourself, because trust is a big thing. Okay, for the energies of the moon witch is cast a circle. Healthy boundaries are crucial for growth. These boundaries are about your standards. These boundaries are also about protecting your energy. These boundaries are also about who you allow to be in your friends, ship circles, or just your circles in general. So that's the caster a circle. You've got Freya. You've got Freya, which is you are worthy. You are loved. But you need to know that before the person that you've been manifesting knows that. Because if you don't have that, how can you be in parallel with someone if you don't love yourself? That's why the person that you want to be with, such as your soulmate, should be in parallel towards you. You see what I'm trying to say? That's how you create that connection. So if you don't see that, how the hell would that person that you're manifesting can see that? If you can't do it yourself, all right? I got last quarter, last quarter, which is what is holding you back? Are there fears that you're holding back? Are there things that traumas, programming? Are there things that you still got to remove? Really understand that the core of this is really about finding what's holding you down. You may call it weaknesses just to make things more simpler for your life, but even if it's just certain things that you've got to look within, I would advise you to do that. You've got you got waxing gibbons, which is about it's okay to change the direction, but as long, especially using the 10 energy, which is one in numerology, is about being true to yourself, being true, being that leader, using your inner this using your decisions and being that leader and standing on business. As long as you have the conviction, you can change the reality that you want. You've got trust. And this is about trust. The universe has a plan for you. You got to have the plan. You got to know these things. You got to know these things, and you've got to understand that the next things that's happening in your life are very much about having trust for yourself. Now, I'm going to use the tea leaf oracle cards now, and we'll look into the energies of it. Okay, okay. Let's have a look. All right, so I'm going to pick this. 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 And I'm going to pick. Okay. One more. Okay, cool. Let me use this. So, I've just picked a couple of cards for the tea leaf oracle cards, and the first one is you got gavel, involvement with the law. This isn't a bad thing if you want to not see it as a bad thing. In order for you to have a business, you got to legalize it. In order for you to officiate certain things, you need a law. It's also making sure that if you've got any situations regarding the law, that you deal with it accordingly. I intuitively feel very much so. It feels like it's making things official. So, for example, the house move, that you comply, that you may need a solicitor to make things official. Let's say you're moving to a different country, you may need to use stamp duty to have a new place. Um, the law very much feels for me it's making sure that you cross the T's and you dot the I's. But if it's regarding the law in general, I feel like people in the collective have a strong chance of winning when it comes to the law. I've also got older woman, and it says dealings or relationship with an older woman. So this could be a situation. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but you have a relationship with an older woman that you have to deal with going forwards. And this could be a situation. This could be the mother-in-law. This could be a landlord. This could be a business partner. just let you know what's happening going forwards is that you'll be dealing with an older woman. This could happen in the spirit world, this could happen in the 3D. It's how you interpret it. I've also got the wishbone, and that is a wish will be granted. So, all in all, the energy feels very, very much so that it is a wish fulfillment. I've also got the boat, the boat, and that is money or property through an inheritance, winning and windfall. So all of these things are very, very what do you call it? These things are very, very positive in general. I like the energy. It just feels very much so that if somebody's coming towards you of an older woman, it's in your favor or it'll be good news because you've got the success card. There is something in October that's resulting in the full moon energy right now that you're going to be happy with because I'm aligning the success with October time. And it's my month. I'm being wrong. But the energy that I feel very much so that it will be for your benefit. All right. I'm now going to be using the tarot for advice. And let's have a look. Let's go there. Okay. Oh, all right. So the energy that I feel and what's about to happen for this, the energy of the full moon is quite clear. So I want to let you know that emotions might be running high. All right. Emotions might be running high with a high priestess energy. Um, I want you to use that to your advantage because the high priestess energy is two. If you condense the two into numerology, it's an 11. It's two ones. So be bold with your energy. Be present. Really use that time of 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 your light. It's about you coming into the light and making sure that anything that you want, you have to go out there and take it. It's the energy of it's the alpha move. Anyone can be alpha, but it's about you having the purpose and go about your business and do it. This is going to be an inspired approach, especially with the Knight of Wands. So you're going to be getting a lot of inspiration. I don't want you guys to overthink because overthinking crowds your inspired approach. Really feel inspired by your feelings, by your intuition, by everything that's there. If you understand, let me explain, guys, how inspiration works. If you're an artist, if you're a director, notice how like Adele makes an album every 4 years. She waits until she's inspired to create a masterpiece. I'm just saying nothing that doesn't have to be a situation where it's now, 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 now. If you're feeling to be inspired because of something, you should move your inspiration, and that's what it is. That's the energy of the full moon as we speak, and this is your time. Ten of Wands is letting you know that this is your time. You are in the process of understanding that you yourself is moving in a way that's going to make you feel like you've achieved everything because of what you've put in um, since you've learned and focused more on your spirituality, since you focus on yourself. What I'm feeling right now is the new opportunities that are there, especially with the Ace of Cups, is something that's fulfilling, a new start, a new role. I think as well, this is a great time to embrace new emotional perspectives. I want you to embrace new perspectives. This is about your happiness. This should be about what you want, of course, because it's all coming into alignment with the star. The star is provided to you with the high priestess energy to really believe of who you are and not what you're becoming, but what you've became. Really understand that, guys. You don't have to wait for months and weeks and years now for understanding that you have to wait for these moves. You can make these moves right now, that nothing is beyond you, and that what I feel, especially with the magician card and the four of pentacles, is that you have moved You have done everything properly. You have moved in a way that I feel is in alignment to what you know what is right for you. That it's time to really double down and using the energy of the 10 energy, which is the leadership role, and taking initiative of your actions and understanding that it's by you take it on because you know what to do. You're not like you shouldn't be fearing anything because you know you've got the knowledge after months and months of knowing and having to go through things and having your own experiences through your own spirituality, that this is time that you've mastered something. It's given me the energy of like you don't need to prove anything. You've just got to do, because the proof that you've done before is through your own spiritual work. You've worked time and time and time and time again. You've reaffirmed, you've cleared, you've ground, you've done all of these things. And the most important thing is that you have shown that the time for you to do things is now rather than waiting for later. And that there will be messages from source, from spirit, from the people that you've been wanting to manifest for these times. And that could be through positions, romance, and everything. And you know that this is part of your new journey, especially with the Fool card. The Fool card is that new journey that you so want. Understand that this is a beautiful time for you, because what I feel and what's about to happen that's going to make these changes is that you've utilized your own knowingness in order to make the right decisions for your life. Like you are the conductor of your own orchestra. You are the person that opens the door. There's no need for knocking. It's about opening the door. You've aligned yourself to that. Not only that door will open, but many doors will, because you're in that frequency and you understand it's all in the mind. The mind is literally letting you know that you're in your power, that you are the universe. It's all is mind. All is in this present moment exactly what you need in order for you to get from here to here to here. What I love about this energy is that something that I said previously from the previous collective is very impactful. Is that you understand that there is no lack, only abundance. And I feel that for those who have utilized that's what I use. There is no lack, only abundance. You're starting to see the shift in your own reality. You're starting to see that not for yourself, but you're starting to see that in your own life as well. Beautiful, beautiful time. Beautiful, beautiful moment for you guys. And what I see for everyone that's on the lives is a strong sense of power. Power not from a physical point of view, but power because there is confidence within. It's the magic. It's the realization that you've gone through so many things, and the real power is the transformation that you've had to go through from being unsure of yourself to knowing that everything that's happened was for you and what's making you evolve. All right, bit of a serious one today, but I really wanted to really utilize and let you guys know how important this full moon was to me as well. Um, you might be feeling a bit tired. I've throughout this whole entire day, I've had headaches. My face kept on twitching, and I persevered. So I really wanted to make sure that the message was clear and concise for everyone that's there. And the reason why that you may be feeling drained is because you're releasing a part of yourself that doesn't warrant to be part of you no more. Um, because you are welcoming in a version of yourself that you are about to be. You're showing a version of yourself that's part of the new version for you of that what you've manifested. All right. I'm letting you guys know that the changes are a sign. So how I know I'm activating is I activate through pain. So through headaches, through migraines. I've this morning I couldn't see, um, but this is just part of my full moon. This is what happens every full moon. Like the things that you don't see behind the scenes. That's why I don't. That's why I take a day off after um, the full moons, because that's why I get every full moons. I really I struggle with sight. I struggle, but it's all good. It's all good. I'm letting you guys know it isn't about the past and the future. The energy is the present and what you bring towards the future. If you don't have the energy of knowing, being in the state of working towards your journey of self love, the value within yourself, then everything else, that being the future or the past, is irrelevant. What creates that relevance is what you do now. That's the power within. So as long as you know that there may be good days and bad days, as long as you know that the feelings that you feel now are relative, that is going to project towards your pathway. Now, I would say that everything starts with the mind, and if you focus on self, the rest will follow. Somebody mentioned shadow work, but there are different ways to work regarding seeing your progress, and that is the elements of shadow work, light work, being more wholesome with that, appreciations for self love, and most importantly, why you are being present. It is really imperative that you work towards your own authenticity, that is your highest frequency, by being true to yourself.